Welcome back, ladies. In this video, I'll be working on this Trans Am 4th gen. And anything from a 1993 to 2002, the procedure is exactly the same. And we're putting a tubular torque arm in it from UMI. And this is the torque arm right here. It's a nice tubular piece by UMI, and it's part number 2205. Now for a 3rd gen, it's very similar. It's pretty much almost the exact same procedure. And these tubular torque arms help with stabilizing the car, the whole suspension overall, helps with wheel hop, also prevents nosedives during braking. You can also control the pinion angle by adjusting the back over here. I'll show you how to do that. And we also have this torque arm relocation bracket by UMI. This is part number 2207. And this helps by taking the torque arm mounting point off the tail shaft transmission and putting it on the transmission mount. This obviously is a good thing because you have less stress on the transmission tail shaft. And we also have this from UMI 3006. That's a torque arm mount. And this is a stock transmission mount we're going to put on. This, we're not putting a poly mount on here because poly transfers a lot of the vibration inside the car. And that's the GM part number for that. So let's begin. First order of business is I'm going to support this transmission with a screw jack. So I'm going to put it at the end over here and just raise it up slightly. First thing I'm going to do is take the transmission mount off this cross member. It's 11/16 nut. There's 4 transmission crossmember bolts that go to the frame of the car. 1, 2, and 2 on either side. So I'll go ahead and take those off. And hold the transmission crossmember, and it's going to pop out now. And that's the whole thing. There's 2 13mm bolts that hold the mount, the tranny mount onto the transmission tail shaft. Okay, now the top of this clamshell over here where the end of the torque arm is, that's a 5/8 bolt on top over there. Go ahead and take that off. There you go. Okay, now this is nice and loose. And just twist it to the side. And when you push that, just pop it off. Alright, these are 15mm nut and bolt over here. Take that off. So the 15mm right over there. Okay, now be careful when you do this. I put a little pry bar here to pry the torque arm end off this clamshell. So it's gonna want to go up a little bit, just like that. So it's off the clamshell. Alright, this we could just take it out once we slide the torque arm out, or you could just pop the torque arm a little higher and take this out. But let's leave this the way it is now over here. Now the end of the torque arm over here where it meets the rear end, you have 2 bolts, and there's 13/16 heads on top and 13/16 nuts on the bottom. So on the top it's a little rusted. I gotta hammer that in. It's good. Alright, now these are sometimes very difficult to get off. Let me see if the impact will work. If not, I'm gonna have to heat it off. Yeah, we got lucky there. And that comes right out. Now the other bolt. Pop this out. Okay, now this torque arm is free, as you can see. So this one, let's take this off. See what happens. So that's good. The whole torque arm comes right out. and go back here, and that pops right out. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, since we took the bolts off this transmission mount for the torque arm, we're gonna put one new bolt here because it was a stud, and we're gonna put the old bolt in here, and just so it could hold the exhaust in place. We'll put a little bit of blue sauce on it for red lacquer. Let's go ahead and tighten that down. That's good. And we're done here. Now we're going to put the transmission mount on. And that's done. Alright, now the polyurethane mount for the torque arm. They give you a bracket here. It goes like this. And this is a steel plate, or act like a little spacer to give it some support on this side over here. Those give you 4 bolts here, 60mm Allen head bolts with nylocks. So this on the 5-3 setting goes in the second hole from the bottom. Okay. And you're good. And now we're going to grease up this hole. I'm a reformed clown, so I'm going to refrain from saying any sexual jokes here. So I'm just going to let you guys say them in the comments below. So let me just use the lube provided and lather up the hole before I stick it in there. Also let me know if you approve my method. Go from behind. And same thing here. Alright, she's all lathered up for entry. Alright, now put this in, line it up with the transmission mount, and make sure the hole's also lining up. And if they're far away, you could just jack up the transmission. So these actually line up here. Let me put these in. And I also put some blue thread locker on these bolts. I'll let it hang from here for now. And now I'm going to put the nut on the transmission mount. And I'm not going to tighten that all the way, just a little snug. All right, now we're going to screw this up because we have a little ways to go up there to meet the body. So I'll go ahead and jack it up. A little more, a little more. All right, that's perfect. And leave all these bolts loose. We're going to get back to them later on. All right, now I'm going to insert this in the hole. Also, please write your comments below for this. And push it in. And you're almost lined up back here. Just gotta push in some more. And that should be good. Alright, so what you gotta do here is you just gotta pry it down a little bit to position it and jack up the rear end a little bit. So now everything clears. You just use the negotiator to put it in. Alright, so you have to use the inner holes over here. There's 4 sets of holes. You use the inner ones here. Alright, so I like to use an aligning pin over here to align this. You might have to also hit this a little more back. You just gotta position the holes. Make sure the holes line up. We're gonna use these grade 8 bolts from UMI. That's the part number 3003. Now these bolts should always be put in from on top going down, because just in case, say the nut falls off, it's still gonna hold the torque arm in place. Alright, you can also put the aligning pin on top over here to align this. Now, pop this in. There you go. And now put this one in. Perfect, baby. And now the supplied lock washers with the nuts. Okay, now I'm back here. I'm going to torque these down to 48 foot-pounds, the crossmember bolts, the 4 of them. Everything was loose, remember? So now I'm just going to go around and tighten everything down. And now the transmission mount. And these torqued down to 100 foot-pounds. And always have the torque wrench going away from you because you don't want to hit yourself in the face, unless you're into that.
Yeah, please beat me.
Sorry, Brianna, you know the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. Now these here, these bolts and these bolts are also loose, so we're just gonna go ahead and tighten those down. Over here we put an adjustable wrench, and we're just doing these down to 100 foot-pounds also. Alright, so over here we have the pinion angle finder. This is -3 degrees here, and that's the pinion. The angle of where the pinion, the center line of the pinion is. You put it right underneath the torque arm over here, the flat spot. And the drive shaft is a -1. So that means the pinion is 2 degrees lower than the drive shaft. So that's what you want to be on a stick shift car. This is a 6-speed stick. So you want anywhere from -2 to -3. Automatic, you probably want it around -1 or so. So this is good. If it wasn't, you just loosen this and adjust it, and make sure these are loose here too when you do that. So this could go up and down. And once you get that correct, then you tighten this down, and put the jam nut onto here to tighten that down. It's a good idea to periodically check this, because this could go out of adjustment. You'll know if it's out of adjustment if you're driving there's a bad vibration. So that's how you set pinion angle. Alright guys, so this install is complete. It's a really nice piece. That's what it looks like. Now this car is going to feel very different on the road. This is a very good mod. You really feel this mod. So that's the whole torque arm right there. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like me, share me. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Clouding1969. Check out the description below also for a link to my shirts. Toodles!